Here's a question. How would you work out the average? What would be your definition of the average value of a set of numbers? Well, you might think you just add them up and divide by the number of values, and that is one way of working out the average, but it's not the only way. In fact, it's not always the most appropriate way. There are in fact three quite common ways of working out the average, and these are the mean, the median and the mode, terms that you may very well still be familiar with. Let's take them one at a time. In the textbooks, particularly statistics textbooks, they're often confusingly known by other names such as the central tendency or the location. But either way, they all mean the average. So let's start off with the mean. It is often thought of as the more difficult way of working out the average, the meanest, as our cat Fluffy might think. Okay, so with the mean, you really do just add up the values to get a total and then divide that total by the number of values altogether. Let's do an example. Imagine we have to find the mean of these 5 values, 6, 7, 8, 4 and 20. Well, first we add them up to get a total. In this case the total is 45, and then we divide that 45 by, well, there are 5 values in our list, so we divide the 45 by the 5, and that gives us 9. So the mean is 9. Now you'll notice that that number 9 did not occur in the original data list. It was not one of the original members. Sometimes it is almost by fluke, very often it isn't. In fact, the mean can also be a decimal value as well, so look out for that. Okay, the next one on the list is the median. Now the median, as our former Khaled friends here are demonstrating, is simply the middle value. In actual fact, it's the middle value once you've arranged those values in ascending order. Then you pick out the middle value. So using an example, if I'm asked to find the median of the same 5 values we had before, well, let's first put them into ascending order. And now we can instantly pick out the middle value, which in this case is 7. The median is 7. Now that was easy to do because there were very few values. Also it was easy to do because there was an odd number of values. It's a little tricky if you've got an even number of values. Let me show you. Suppose I'm asked to work out the median of these 4 values, 7, 1, 13 and 14. I'll put them in order and I find now that I've got not 1 but 2 unique middle values, 7 and 13. To find the middle value in this case, the median, I add those and divide. So 7 and 13 gives 20 and divide that by 2 to give 10. In other words, I've kind of split the difference of the 2 middle values. And again, you'll notice that the median may very well be a value that's not in the data set. When there are an odd number of values in the data set, your median is a value in the data set, and when you have an even number, sometimes it isn't. Okay, the final one is the mode. From the French, la mode, meaning most fashionable, as our friend Golden Bear here is shown with his rather fabulous hat. The mode is the most popular or commonest value in the list. It's the most fashionable, if you will. So in this case, in this list, we can see quite easily that the value 8 is the most common value. The mode is 8. Now that's easiest to spot with a small data set. As the data sets get larger, it becomes more difficult to pick out the commonest value. Now one good way of doing it, if you're doing this by hand, is, as with the median, to arrange your values in ascending order, and that way any duplicates are clustered together. So here, for example, I put them in ascending order, and you can see your 7s have occurred twice together and your 8s have occurred 3 times together. You can pick out the mode that much more readily. Now sometimes you can have more than one mode. For example, here with this data set, if I arrange them in ascending order just to pick them out more readily, we can see that both the number 3 and the number 9 occur twice. We would call this bimodal. There are 2 modes, 3 and 9. And to finish off the idea, sometimes you have no mode at all. So with this data set, even once I put them into ascending order, you realise each value occurs exactly once. There is no mode. So there we have it, mean, median and mode. In a future video I will explain when you choose which type of average, but we'll leave it at that for now. Thank you.